Happy Halloween and welcome to Derry. Christmas came early, y'all, and episode 2 is live. It actually went live at like 2 a.m. Central Time, but like, I'm elderly. I'm not waking up like that. But here we are. I got my breakfast, fruit, and vitamin water. I love this stuff. So episode 1, the pilot, was world building. We're introduced to our, season mystery, the town of Derry, and our main cast. And then like half of our main cast died. And a mutant baby. Let's get into it. Somebody's gonna ask, this is grits. It's got like everything in it. Bacon, turkey sausage, mushrooms, shrimp. I just added the shrimp in there. And cheese. So, we've met the Hanlon family, right? So we have Leroy Hanlon, his wife. I don't know if I've gotten her name yet. And then the son, I want to say Will is his name. Sure. Anyways, the whole point is, the little boy who plays Will Hanlon, he's in a movie called We Grown Now. It's on Netflix. It came out, a wide release last year. If you have not seen it, highly recommend. Check that out. We Grown Now. Yes. Such a good movie. Continue. Okay, pause. So this is what's interesting about this entire thing, because we've had this story of Derry in our hands since 1986, and we've had film versions of it since 1990, and there's so much that we know about Derry that they don't know yet. And I don't know, that's just an interesting position to be in, because we know something's wrong with Derry. We know that bad things happen in Derry and people tend to look the other way, and to see Charlotte experiencing that firsthand as a new resident, it's kind of interesting. I don't know, it's just an interesting position to be in, because we know something's wrong with Derry. We know why something's wrong with Derry. They don't know yet. And it'd be interesting to see how they find out. Girl, swim! Oh. Why is it still going? Why is it still going? Alright, so we've met Dick Halloran. Now, we kind of sort of met Dick Halloran last episode, but we didn't really speak to the man. He was just, driving a little go-kart, or whatever they call him in the army, I don't know. But we finally got to meet him a little bit, getting a bit of his personality. Now, here's the thing about Stephen King and a bit of his novels. There's a lot of crossover. There's going to be mention of the town of Derry in other novels, characters that are here, there. Pennywise has been mentioned in other works as well. So Dick Halloran, if you're familiar with Stephen King lore, is from The Shining. He has the shine. I'm wondering if his shine has anything to do with what's happening at that Air Force base. That's my question mark. Let's continue. Native Americans. Oh, he's fine. Clint Bowers, Chief of Police. Oh Lord, not the circus music. With him. Girl, that's not your daddy. No! Let's discuss. Alright, so episode 1, Lily, Ronnie, Phil, Teddy, and Phil's little sister Susie all went to the movie theater because Ronnie said she too heard voices, and that was one of the last places that little Maddie was seen, right? So they all go to the movie theater because Lily heard Maddie singing a song. The song is from a movie. So she goes to play the movie, and that's when everything happens. And then all of a sudden, Susie, Phil, and Teddy are just, right? But here's the thing, now we're in episode 2. There are no bodies. Now, Ronnie's dad works at the movie theater as a projectionist, and everybody wants to blame him for it because he's black. Ronnie's like, yo, my daddy wasn't there. Ronnie's grandma was like, no, he was home. We watched Andy Griffith, and then we went to sleep. And then Lily's like, yeah, no, he wasn't there. I don't really know what I saw, but he wasn't there. Well, that's not good enough for Ronnie. And the police chief, Clint Bowers, he's under enormous pressure to arrest somebody for something. So he tries his hardest to trick Lily into saying that, hey, he may have been there, enough to bring him in for questioning. I need Lily to dump her friend Marge, okay? The girl has to go. She's superficial. She doesn't have her priorities right. I mean, 2 of your classmates are like, gone, girl, and you're still like, hey, if you stop being weird, we can hang out with the patty cakes. Basically just a bunch of mean girls. Now, remember, in the first episode, there was some sort of restricted, super secret project happening at the Air Force Base. Well, Leroy Hanlon has been brought into it, and it's something about a missile. This thing they're trying to find that's something that might be located or buried in Derry, and that's where Dick Halloran comes in, because they're using his gifts to try to find it. But the thing they're describing sounds suspiciously like It. I'm wondering how it all connects. And the thing is, because this is Stephen King, it may not connect. These may be two different storylines that just happen to happen at the same time. Now, there might be an intersection, but there may not be a connection, but it all leads to the same kind of tension. And as we get to the end of the episode, the tension just ratcheted up real quick. I don't know if anyone else experienced that, but I just got really, really anxious towards the end of the episode when she goes into the grocery store. I don't know what it was about her doing something very mundane and normal, like going into a grocery store, that just kind of made my heart flutter a little bit. I don't know, but it was warranted because that scene was crazy. I'm just ready to see Bill Skarsgård in the suit, right? But we're starting to slowly get into that. I feel like it's going to be like it's a downward slope because we're starting to recognize certain behaviors that are characteristic of the clown, the way he tends to manipulate their surroundings. He's already driving them nuts, torturing them with their fears and their trauma. But the way he kind of manipulates the environment and makes them feel crazy. Like, am I dreaming? Is this real? Is this a nightmare? What's happening? But even manipulating the people. Now, if you remember from It, Chapter 1, 2017, when Ben Hanscom is in the library and he's flipping through the history book of Derry and the librarian behind him just transforms. It's very subtle. It's one of those things that you don't always notice right away, but you might notice it a second time. Just transforms behind him. Same thing that's happening here, but on a much grander scale. Now, to those of you who are watching and you've watched this episode, the car at the end, what do you think that is? When does the next episode come out? This Sunday? Next? Like, please don't make me wait a week and a half. I'm loving this.